So if you guys are just kind of hanging out in here, the first step we're going to be doing though is removing our chicken from the marinade. If you didn't do that, it's not a key step. I mean, it adds more flavor, but it's not like a do or die. Then after that, we'll chop our bacon. We'll throw that in the pan. We'll do our chicken. I think Lucas has figured this out, but we'll see what happens. So we're just going to kind of go with it. So yeah. After we sear the chicken, we will put some vegetables in there. Yeah, just kind of get it going. So what's going?
So I'm going to tell everybody. So what we did is I put it on YouTube.
Is this delayed?
Slightly. So I put it on YouTube. So the link is going to be in the comments, Kayla, yeah?
Comments of this live video.
Thing on YouTube.
So you can watch this live to see Trevor's up close and personal face, or you can go on the YouTube link to watch the multi-cam setup. I'm sorry.
Which one's better? Which one's more?
Depends on what experience you
Yeah, but what's better for the people?
Probably the YouTube. Because
Okay.
you'll be able to see a little bit better what everything is.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys heard that. I think Kayla, my wonderful wife, is typing something. Maybe, I don't know.
I am.
But apparently, we're also going live on YouTube. So
there's going to be a better link on YouTube.
there's going to be a link.
Send
Yeah, I thought we were gonna have a real professional shindig going on, but it's coming. It's going through.
So
I
the
think.
updated YouTube link with the better quality video is in the comments. Everybody should see it at this point.
One person's on YouTube.
It's on.
One person's on YouTube. Dang, is it Brittany?
Brittany.
Dang.
You got to do a hi, Mom.
I don't know if my mom's on here.
I see right now.
Hi, Mom. Any other people?
I mean, I don't know.
What am I at?
16 people.
Okay.
You got a few people.
Okay, so I guess we'll just wait like a few more minutes. I know I'm late, and so now I'm just like dragging on the process a little bit. And I'll finish my coffee so it doesn't get cold. So.
Yeah, Kirsten said go to YouTube. Yeah, it's up to you. I mean, you can stay on this. I don't know how this is just on my phone. The Facebook is on my phone, but Lucas is going to be doing the better cameras on YouTube.
7 people on YouTube.
All right, so.
I would head over to the YouTube at this point.
But I think we'll leave this on for a while in case anybody's coming on, maybe.
I'll leave it on for people who are kind of coming in late. But yeah, go ahead and jump over to the Facebook.
Okay, so I know I said this a minute ago, but our first step, make sure your ovens are on. That way we can kind of get rolling with everything. And then we're going to drain our chicken. Not drain it, we're going to remove it from the marinade. Don't dump out your wine because we're going to need that. So that's kind of the key thing of coq au vin is the wine. It's chicken cooked in wine. We'll go over that in a second. You think we're ready?
There's 4 people on right now.
Oh, 4 people? Is there still people in here? What's up here?
Live says 12.
Dang.
YouTube's got 7.
Okay, check out my dining room table with my fish. There's 12 of you here. Cool. All right. Hey, what's up, Chef Dave? I see you. Okay. I guess we're just going to go for it. Okay, so how everything's going to work, I guess I want to introduce myself. There's some new people around here. I'm Trevor. I'm from Kansas City. I have been a chef for about 10 years. Recently have been in and out of hotels. And ever since COVID, I started a private chef gig. And that's been going pretty good for me so far. And now we're just kind of expanding things, and we're seeing how like cooking classes go. A lot of people asked about it, and so we're doing one. So the first kind of thing we're going to do is explain our whole process of kind of how everything's going to work. I'm going to walk you guys through the entire cooking process of coq au vin, which is a chicken braised in red wine. It's a classic French dish. So people will think you're super fancy after you master this. I'm going to do, everything with you guys. There's people looking at questions. So if you have any questions about any processes or anything, type away and we will get to that. Eventually, going down in the future, we We'll probably do some stuff on Zoom, so it'll be even more interactive where people can, we can all just kind of hang out together and talk freely. But for now, we're just doing it on Facebook. So
Annika wants to know, what does she set the oven to?
400. We're going to do it at 400 just because we're doing this live. Usually you would do it at like 350 for a slower cooking process. Braising is like a slow cooking process where the meat is cooking in the liquid in the oven. But for now, we're gonna crank it up to 400 just so that we can get this going. It'll probably take about an hour, 30 minutes, give or take, depending if you guys have chopped any of your vegetables or not. And if you haven't, that's fine. I'll be chopping here. Am I supposed to look at this camera too?
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and shut off this Facebook live stream and go over to YouTube.
Wait.
And anybody who didn't hear,
Oh,
the
okay.
link is in the comments.
Okay, so I guess we're going to YouTube. See you guys there?
Yeah, see you guys there.
So how many people are in there now?
Should you post the link on your page?
It is.
Cool.
You got 8 people on YouTube right now.
And then you'll switch to
Dang, we had 12.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, everyone.
Still live.
We're going live.
Sorry.
I guess we're going to wait a minute longer. I don't know how fast YouTube is. Cool. All right. Well, let's just go ahead and remove our chicken because we kind of got to get rolling. It's already 6:15. So you can see here, our chicken's marinated. Remove it, but don't, again, dump out your liquid. It's very important that we save that. And so the marinating, obviously, it marinated. The chicken gave it some more flavor. The legs meat is dark meat, and it already has more flavor than like breast or anything. But we're going to put it in a pan with a paper towel, and we're just going to kind of blot the skin dry a little bit because we're going to sear this in a minute. And if the chicken skin's too wet, and if you try to flip it soon, it's just going to rip and it won't be very fun for you. So just make sure you kind of dry it off. We're not going to get to that probably for like 10 minutes. So that's our first step. Our second step, we're going to start chopping our chicken. Or not our chicken, our bacon. So we're going to cut our bacon into like strips. So get your bacon lengthwise on your cutting board. Just cut it into thin strips. Just be careful, don't cut yourself. If you're a slow cutter, I don't want to be liable for that. So thin strips, if they're a little thick, it's fine. But you don't want like huge chunks because we want it to all cook evenly. So from here, you probably have, I don't know, about a whole cup of bacon. From here, we're going to transfer it to our saute pan. My pan's not on yet, and that's okay because we're going to render this. And rendering is like a slower process for cooking our bacon up. We don't want it to like burn and get super crispy. I mean, we want it to get crispy, but we just don't want to burn it, so we got to cook it a little slower. So put your pan on like medium low, and we'll just kind of periodically come over here and stir it up. So rinse off your hand. Bacon's sort of raw. And then this was also why we got 2 cutting boards, so that we can use a clean cutting board to do all of our vegetable prep. And Chef Dave's watching, so you got to get a new clean knife. Otherwise, I'll get you. So our next step, I don't know if anybody already did this, but these pearl onions are a total pain in the butt to kind of like fabricate, I guess you could say. So that's like the hardest part. So you're just going to cut off the top and the bottom and just peel it, just like a normal onion. So I already did it because I didn't want to stand here like a silly guy on a Facebook Live. So our next step is we're just going to slice up our mushrooms. And so just slice them. They don't have to be super pretty. They're just going to add some good flavor to everything. If you wanted to just quarter them, you can. That's an easy option. So we'll just see from here. you know, cut into 4 pieces. I personally just like to slice them all. Is there a way to see questions on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are there
There's no questions.
no comments? Cool. So your bacon, you'll probably hear it cooking, so you need to just kind of go stir it. If it's getting out of control, just turn the heat down a little bit. And so what we're going to end up doing, we're going to, hopefully you guys read the recipes, but we're going to render this down and get it all crispy. Then we're going to take the bacon out and we're going to sear our chicken. And we're going to get a nice hard sear on that. And then after that, we are going to take the chicken out of the pan, just kind of let it sit for a minute, and we'll put in all of our vegetables to cook down. So if you guys saw my video on Instagram for how to make a braised short rib, it's kind of the same process. So let's just get all of these cut, and then we'll kind of get going through the next steps. And then once we get our chicken cooked up, we're going to start our polenta. And we'll use that time to also clean, and I can answer some more questions. In that time, the polenta takes like 20 minutes, and that's just enough time for our chicken to cook in the oven. We're going to cook our chicken to an internal temperature of like 170 just to get all the blood in the chicken legs fully cooked so nobody's grossed out. Then we'll go from there. So, does anybody have any questions or anything? Comments? Maybe you guys are busy chopping? I don't know. Nothing?
No questions so far.
Okay. Cool. So this process you can kind of use to, you can mimic it with other dishes. It's real simple. You can, you know, sear your chicken and remove it, cook some vegetables down to make like a stew with beef or, you know, other vegetables. You don't have to use wine either. You can use chicken stock to kind of braise your meat real low and slow. Like Italian, if an Italian dish would use like more braised, canned tomatoes with your red wine. Oh, there's a baby back there. You probably didn't see her. But, yeah, so I guess there's no more questions. We're just going to keep working at this bacon and get it nice and crisp. I'm going to turn my oven up, or my stove up a little bit, just to kind of get the process going. And since I already cleaned my onions,
All right, I got a question for you, Trevor.
Okay.
How did you get into being a chef? What made you want to do it?
So I actually didn't have any dreams of being a chef when I was a younger person. I used to want to be a Navy SEAL, and I wanted to be James Bond, but my mom wouldn't let me dye my hair black. And then I watched some videos about like Hell Week and everything, and I said, that doesn't sound very cool. And so then I worked at a sandwich shop with the current sound engineer over here, Lucas. We worked at a sandwich shop together, and that was actually one of the most fun jobs I've ever had. Just, you know, making sandwiches. But then I just kind of like worked some weird jobs. I worked at an insurance company. I worked at a flower production company, and I was like, I kind of got to figure something out here. And I had a friend who went to culinary school, and he said he liked it, and I said, okay, that sounds fun. And so I just kind of signed up. I didn't really know what being a chef meant, what working crazy hours meant, or anything. And so, yeah, I went to JUCO, and then I worked at the Overland Park Sheraton Hotel, which is kind of like my home base. Worked there 2 different times. And yeah, I fell in love with it. It was really fun. And, you know, I had a good team over there who kind of showed me, you know, different cooking techniques, and we were able to play with food and order a lot of different product in. So it really was, it made it a fun atmosphere to always be learning and pushing myself as a young cook, and I just kind of fell in love with it.
Julie wants to know if there's anywhere that people can listen to your whole career story.
There is. What camera do I look at? So, hey guys, on February 3rd, I recently recorded a podcast with my new friend, Julie and Annika. It's called Explain Yourself, and I'm sure they're actually here in the video, or on the live stream. But yeah, I sat down with them and just kind of told my story and how COVID has affected my job and my life. And it, you know, it was actually kind of a positive thing, COVID. You know, it was in a weird way, a real blessing. Before I get back into that, my bacon, you can see it's all crisp. It's not burnt. My pan's a little dark, and that's okay. So we're going to take all of our bacon out of here. And we're going to save it. I think you can see I have a bowl over here. So we're just going to save it for later. I'm dumping some of this grease in my drain. Don't tell anybody. I know you're not supposed to do that. Hope you like my shoulder shot. Cool.
Been working out?
I have. Thank you very much. So our next step, hopefully you guys are kind of close to where I'm at. If not, you can catch up. It'll be fine. So we're gonna put our skillet to a medium temperature. We're gonna add a little bit more oil to our pan. I probably put like 2 tablespoons in there. I'm gonna put a little bit more salt on my chicken here. And we're gonna sear it, and we're gonna go skin side down. And so we want our chicken to get nice and crispy, but we don't want to burn it. So once your pan's nice and warm, just go ahead and carefully lay your chicken in there. Don't drop it and burn yourself, which I learned the hard way as an apprentice. So just kind of take it easy. Cool. And then we're going to save the pan that you had your chicken in, because when we're done searing our chicken, we can put it back in here, and then we'll put it back in this pan once we get our vegetables and our liquid cooked up. And don't worry about like the raw chicken in here. It's going to cook in the stew and not make you sick. Are there any other questions, concerns? So by now, hopefully we got our mushrooms chopped, our carrots chopped, just 2 of them, and your garlic. And so that'll be our next step, is we're going to dump that into our pan when we're done searing the chicken. So while we're doing that, I will go ahead and chop my garlic. I got 4 cloves. You can do 6 cloves or whatever you want. There's really no rules. This recipe is sort of just a guideline on ratios. But like if you wanted to put other vegetables in here, you could, and it would still be really good. So I would even go ahead and put like celery or other kind of like, I need like fennel would be good in here as well. So there's not as much rules for cooking as people like to think. If you're baking, follow the recipe, because that's like a science, and I'm not a baker, so don't ask me too many questions about it. But for cooking, you know, you can just kind of eyeball things. It's not always so scientific. You know, people like to overthink it. just if you see that your pans needs some liquid, add some liquid to it. Or, if you want more vegetables in your stew, put more in. It's your decision. It's your life. Cook how you want.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever combined in a dish?
Okay, so my wife will like this one. Before I was even going to be in culinary school or anything, I lived with my grandparents, and my wife and I, well, she was my girlfriend then, but we would just cook random stuff all the time. And me, my wife, and my homie Josiah tried to make Monster Energy drink cupcakes with a Monster Energy drink glaze. And so I think we bought a a 6-pack of the Monsters, and we used so many of them, and it didn't work at all, and it was a total failure. So that probably wasn't the answer you were thinking you were going to get, but Monster Energy drink cupcakes. So if you're seeing this, the chicken skin is nice and crisp, and we got some color to it, and we're going to sear the other side. So I probably did 2 minutes on the first side, so 2 to 4 minutes puts you at a good spot. Yeah, so we're just going to sear this other side for a minute. This also kind of helps in the cooking process. It helps seal in the juices.
Harry Bolerjack, don't kid yourself. They mostly made messes.
Yeah, okay, so that's my granddad. Him and my grandma would wake up to a complete bomb in the kitchen, and I used to get in trouble all the time because I'd leave a note on the counter for my grandma and said, "Sorry, I'll clean this up when I get home," or before I go to work. And I feel really bad now that I'm an adult, because I'd be pretty pissed if that happened to me. So you can see our back of the chicken's almost done. We're just going to kind of wait a minute. Hopefully you guys are close to this step in the process. If not, that's fine. We're all going to be able to kind of catch up and chat while everybody's getting their chicken into the oven. Yeah.
So why do you sear it? What's the point of doing this before cooking it?
It helps, again, seal kind of in the juices of the meat. And then also you get this nice, you can see my pan has kind of this nice Maillard reaction. So this leftover stuff, we're going to deglaze that, and that's going to add a lot of flavor to our dish. I mean, if you wanted to, you could probably skip the searing process. It wouldn't taste as good. Your dish wouldn't be as delicious. But I don't know. Just sear it. Always sear it first. So we're going to add a little bit more oil to our pan. And we're going to throw in our mushrooms first. And then our carrots and onions. Don't put your garlic in yet, because it's just going to burn. And burnt garlic sucks. It really will ruin your dish, because you can really taste burnt garlic. Your mushrooms are also going to soak up a lot of the oil at first, and so you might need to add a little bit more. Again, use your judgment. This is where, the recipe might say 2 tablespoons, but you might need a little bit more, and that's kind of why you don't have to religiously follow the recipe, because we don't want to scorch our pan or the vegetables. If I turn on this vent, is it going to ruin anybody's life? Cool. Wow. So we're gonna saute this up until the carrots are soft. The onions, kind of the outsides are gonna get a little softer, but they're not gonna fully cook until we get this all the way in the oven and braised. So they're gonna slowly cook with the chicken. And then our next step is, here in a minute, we'll throw in our garlic. And then we'll throw in the tomato paste. Well, cook that down. And then we'll put in all of our liquids. We'll return our chicken to the pan and put it in the oven. Are there any other questions on there? Questions, comments, concerns? Anybody? Okay.
What do you do outside of cooking, Trevor?
Outside of cooking, I am a dad. I have 2 kids. I'm married to a wonderful wife, and I just kind of hang out with the family. I like to work out. I like to go on walks, go on hikes, and just kind of, primarily what I do is kind of hang out with the kids all day and the wife. And yeah, I work out. That's a fun thing. Got to get Lucas in there. He's back there. It's kind of my main hobbies. So let's check back over here. So hopefully it's going well for you guys. We haven't done anything too crazy yet. Some of you are...
So how cooked your chicken is again?
It's pretty serious. If your chicken skin is like sticking to the pan when you're trying to flip it, don't rush it. Just let it sit there. It means it's not done searing off. It's not crispy enough. So mine's pretty crisp. This way. Oh, this one. Okay, cool. It's kind of red right here. That's from the marinade. It's not because it's still raw. I mean, it is still raw, but it's been seared. Then you can see this chicken skin kind of just shriveled up, and that's fine. It's going to go back into the oven. And if you feel like your chicken's kind of taking a little bit longer to cook, you can go ahead. You can turn up your heat a little bit to like a medium. Don't go like full blast in your house just because you're going to smoke it out. And that's always never fun. You can ask Annika in the comments about it. I smoked out her house at a dinner I did, and it was super embarrassing. So that was it's quite a moment. So next we're going to go ahead and add our garlic to the pan. We'll cook that for like a minute or two until we can really start to smell it. And you can see the mushrooms, as they cook down, they'll release the moisture that they kind of sucked up in the beginning. So you can kind of see I got some extra oil and liquid in here. But if yours is still a little bit dry, again, don't forget you can add more oil, add some butter in it. It'll be good. All right. Cool. So my carrots are pretty soft. If I wanted to, I could probably break that one. I can smell my garlic. It's nice and fragrant, which means it's started to cook. We're going to go ahead and add in our tomato paste. I should probably turn the other way. So we're going to put in our tomato paste. If you didn't measure it out, it's just like half of that little 4-ounce can. And then we're going to want to cook this down to where it's nice and loose and all the vegetables are coated. It's going to add a nice flavor to your dish and some color to the stock. Or to your sauce, I guess I should say. Anybody having any problems out there? Brittany's on it. Cool. All good in the hood. Okay.
Alright, so as for us not pros, you're doing this thing where you're like shaking the pan while you stir it. Why are you doing that?
I guess it's a habit. Like when, like working in the restaurant, you know, I'd be on a burner that had like 6 pans going all at once, and like sometimes you're just kind of like, all you have time to do is kind of go down the line and give your pan a little shake. But it just kind of helps get your stuff moving. You don't have to do that. You can just stir it. I guess it's just an old habit. It's like ingrained into your head after so many busy nights. So it's just a habit. I do it even like making macaroni and cheese for the kids. I can't help it.
Do you have any funny restaurant stories, like behind the line stuff that people don't know about?
Yeah, cooks are savages back there. There's a lot of banter always. You know, people are just, you know, getting roasted all the time. You know, you're hanging out with these people 40, 50, 60 hours a week, so you see them sometimes more than your family. And so you get these weird relations with people where you can just start roasting them, and you know, sometimes you take it too far and you might hurt somebody's feelings, but then, you know, 10 minutes later they come back and roast you back, and it's just the banter I really miss working in kitchens. So at this point you can see that my tomato paste went from that bright red color, you know, kind of that ketchup-y color, so now it's a lot darker. It's more brown. Do you want me to show it on that camera?
1 second, I'm gonna block your shot real quick. Alright, sorry, we're good.
Cool. All right. So it's yeah, it's a lot darker now. So in the recipe I gave everybody, I know I said that you needed brandy. You don't have to have it. It's not necessary. It's just $10. I'm not going to drink it ever, and so maybe I'll make something with it, but it's just going to sit in my cupboard. Oh, the dog wants out.
I got a question. Alyssa wants to know, so speaking of the hotel, can you sub the chicken for tuna? Don't know that.
I would not recommend that. This wouldn't be a good pairing for that. It would like fall apart and blow up in the oven. Tuna, you want to just kind of sear nice and hot on both sides. You know, you want to eat it rare. If you're not into eating rare tuna, you can cook it however you want, but that's like a more fast cooking process, like if you were cooking steaks or something. So don't, fish wouldn't go good with this. You could do beef. Beef would be a good substitute, like if you had some short ribs would be really good. So we're gonna add this brandy though, and just a little bit, like 1/4 of a cup. If you're on a gas stove, it might catch on fire a little bit, and that's cool if it does. It's just gonna give, I'm trying to catch mine on fire, there. It's just gonna kind of cook out the alcohol. So this is like our first part of the deglazing process. I don't know if you can see the fire. My pan is on fire. It just went out. If you're worried about that happening, just turn your oven or your stove to a lower temperature and just kind of slowly simmer that for a little bit longer. So that was the brandy part. Next, we're going to go ahead and pour in our juices from our marinade, so the red wine.
She says we're way behind you. So,
Okay, cool.
this second, can you slow down for a minute?
Okay, you're fine. I got rolling with it. But I'm at a point now where it's just kind of like hanging out. So I can answer any questions you guys have. We'll go from there. So I just poured in my wine. And then I'm going to just kind of scrape the bottom of my pan. And I'll remind you guys of these steps as we go. And then for now, I'm also going to add in my chicken stock. And then we're just going to kind of wait for everybody to catch up. So if you have any questions, type them down. You know, I'm at a point to where I'm just going to wait for everybody. Oh man, know what I forgot to do? I forgot to add in the flour to my my dish. I got going. So before you put in your brandy, you're gonna pour in your flour. So that's a big oops. Your dish will still be fine if you were keeping up with me, but most of you probably weren't. So before you put your brandy in or your wine, you're going to put flour in here, and you're just going to cook it down a little bit. And then you'll put your brandy in, and then the wine. And that's called like a roux. So my sauce will just be a little looser than everybody else's, which is fine. It's still going to be good. There's no problem with it. It's just not going to have that real thickness.
So what would happen if you put that in now?
If you put it in now, it's just going to get clumpy. If I wanted to, I could cook this down with some butter and oil. Or butter, if you put butter in the flour in a pan and you mix it up until it's like thick, then you could pour that in and stir it in really well, and that would be fine. I guess I could do that just to show anybody, if anybody was keeping up with me.
You know how they make polenta sometimes in the tube? Somebody has that.
Oh yeah, if anybody does have
They might be
the tube polenta, I believe that you can just kind of add a little bit of liquid to it. So what I'm going to do, since I totally biffed this a little bit, I'm just melting butter in a pan. Which camera do I go to? This one? Cool. So I'm melting some butter, and then I'm just going to stir in the flour. And I'll whisk it in. See, even I messed up a little bit. I got going. I got too excited. So I'm just cooking it down a little further. But that's what it would look like. And it will look like this in your pan with all the vegetables. It'll just be a little like chalky looking. And then you're just gonna add your liquid to it, and it will dissolve. Are there any questions, comments? Anybody roasting me out there?
Ben Rodriguez, my dog,
Hey, what's up, Ben? I got stories all the time about you. Miss you, dude. At lineup, 5 o'clock. Get in the kitchen. Cool. So if you can see, I added in my my roux that I had to make on the fly, and you can see that it's nice and it's thicker, and that's kind of what we were going for if you did the right process and if you followed the recipe. As I told everybody, don't worry about the recipe. Just kind of know what you're doing. Is everybody kind of, where are you guys at? Are you still searing your chicken or your vegetables in here? Where are you guys at? You're all in the weeds. Everybody, you know, this is what it's like. You got somebody yelling at you that you messed up and you got to remake something or to hurry up. But we're just hanging out. So you can see as this cooks down, it's going to get thicker and thicker, kind of more like a gravy. And then our chicken's going to slowly cook in all this. Huh? Plop. You can go ahead and add a little bit more salt. You know, taste your food as you cook. Make sure it tastes good. If it needs more salt, put more salt. Pepper. Cool it off so you don't rip your tongue apart. Cool. So mine's good. Mine's boiling right now, which is fine. Again, I'm just going to wait for everybody to catch up. When most of you guys are ready, if you want to take a second just to... Okay, cool. So you guys are, you're doing good. You're at a good pace. Most people, maybe you haven't ever made this before. So we're just gonna kind of catch up with everybody. And then, so again, if you guys are at your flour part, you know, cook it down, add in your brandy, add in your wine, your chicken stock, and then we're just gonna kind of bring it all up to a high simmer or a little boil. And then we'll put our chicken in here in a minute. So, hopefully you guys are doing all right. Any questions out there? Are you cool cats? That's weird to watch. Yeah, if you got it, pour it. We're gonna be hanging out for a little bit. So kind of the next step we're gonna do is we're gonna put our chicken into the pan. We're gonna throw it in the oven, and this would be a good time to kind of clean up your work area, or throw everything in the sink. That's what I'm doing. And then we're gonna make our polenta. You can drink your wine, drink your beer, your bourbon, whatever you got. And then our chicken will be cooking in the oven. By the time the polenta's nice and creamy and fully cooked, the chicken should be, again, at our 170 degrees. Hopefully you guys got a thermometer. If not, you can just kind of cut into the chicken to tell if you're done. So yeah, hopefully you guys are getting caught up.
Connor said we just now added the tomato paste.
Okay, that's fine. No problem. Again, this is something I've been doing for a while, and so I might have been at a faster pace, and that's cool.
Do chefs clean the dishes, or is there usually a dedicated person?
It depends what kind of place you're at. At the hotels, they have stewards that come and they clean your stuff, but you should always be respectable and try not to just make a huge mess for people. But at home, I like to do the dishes. But everybody helps. Everybody pitches in. Even Lydia, my 2-year-old, likes to help unload, and she makes a nice mess of everything. So she's a good helper. Yeah, there's people who also at the nicer places will come and clean like the whole kitchen for you. So that's really nice. But at like small independent restaurants, there are dishwashers that, they have their duties, but the cooks, they have to clean all the equipment, the fryers, the grills, the hoods. And so that's never fun. So it's always good to kind of be in a hotel, I think. So we're just kind of waiting for everybody here. Recipes. Yeah, anybody else out there?
I mean, they're out here.
They're out here. You guys are just living it up, chopping away.
Get 17 people watching.
I'm famous. Sign me up. Weird, funny story. Exactly 2 years ago today, I made a TV. I had to cook a recipe on TV, thanks to Chef Dave, if you're still on here. Still upset about it. I made what did I make? I made a cider brine pork chop for Restaurant Week, and I had to do like a promotion for the TV, and I was super nervous, and it was terrifying, and I kind of got strong-armed into it. But yeah, exactly 2 years ago today, now I'm making my Facebook Live, YouTube Live premiere. Woohoo. It's my big story.
Is it sanitary to be touching your ingredients like that?
Just a nice, soothing. I've been clean. I haven't touched anything raw. It's going to get cooked. Okay, so I think most people, you should be getting close to where we can put the chicken into the, back into the pan. So we're going to go ahead and put our chicken in. Going to kind of cover it in the sauce. I have a dog over here. Hopefully you can see him. Lewis is making his appearance. So yeah, just kind of submerge it a little bit. We're then going to add half of our bacon back into the pan, and that's going to give it that nice smoky, porky, fatty bacon flavor. We're going to also put in our thyme and our parsley. I tied mine up into a little bouquet garni, which just makes it easier to get all the herbs out. You don't have to do that. Chef secret. So we're just going to put that in there. We're going to bring this to a boil, and then we're going to put the lid on. So everybody just kind of hang tight, and oh, mine's already boiling. Cool. So I'm just going to let mine simmer here for a minute so it can get caught up. Anybody having any issues?
Samir, so trying to figure out the chat feature, can you give us a little background to whatever the name of this meal is, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it. A little bit of background on what the food is.
Oh, okay. So it's coq au vin. So it's French. It's an old classic dish. Back, people, they just had a wine. Oh, yeah. Sorry, the dog's trying to get out. Maybe. Boom, no camera movement. Cool. So yeah, it's a classic French dish. So people, they lived on a farm. They didn't have a lot of stuff. They had a chicken. They always had wine, and they had some vegetables. And so, it was a really common dish. You could serve this. I'm doing polenta tonight because I love polenta. But you could serve it with mashed potatoes, roasted potatoes. It's a real filling dish. And back way a long time ago, they would probably use like a whole chicken. But it's tastier if you use just legs because the white meat's going to dry out in there. Anything else? No? Cool. So I'm going to eat some bacon because you can't help but eat it. All right. So most of your guys' stuff, it should be looking nice and thick. The sauce, it shouldn't be really watery. And if it is, again, that's okay. It's just gonna be a little looser, more like your traditional pot roast. So the flour is what thicken that up. Okay. And also, like I said earlier, usually we would cook this at a lower temperature on our oven. We'd probably go like 300 or 350. But for the sake of time, because we're all here together with different paces, we're just going to crank it up real high. So if you jot that down in your recipe, that would be a good thing to note. I'm also just kind of moving my pan now just to keep anything from scorching on the bottom, just because I'm letting it sit here for so long. Anybody out there? Everybody still in the weeds cooking? Cool.
What does that mean?
Oh, in the weeds. Yeah. So being in the weeds is like when you're super busy, like when us cooks, we get all of the tickets. The order comes in on a little ticket and we hang it up on a rail. and you're in the weeds when there's just like a mass amount of tickets hanging up there, and you're running around like a crazy person. So that's just kind of some kitchen lingo that sticks with you. That or whenever I'm in the grocery store and I turn around the corner, I always yell corner. So in the restaurant, when you're turning the corner, you might have your hands full. Somebody might have a knife or something. So it's good to give a warning that you're coming. So I don't mean the actual weeds, the green weed. Maybe some of you are. I don't know.
Benjamin said, good times, good times. Benjamin Rodriguez?
Yes, Ben. Worked with you for a long time. Miss you. Maybe we'll go back one day. We got a dog visitor in here. So yeah, we're just kind of waiting on everybody to get caught up. Again, I'm not rushing anybody, so if you're still a little behind in your process, it's fine. We're not waiting on you per se in your kitchen to eat.
If this was a real restaurant and you were behind, what would you be doing?
I channel my Gordon Ramsay and tell him to get going. Sorry, the dog's going crazy. Louis, he's hungry. Will you feed him? So the dog knows it's dinner time, and he's letting us know that he's hungry. So I'll just go over to this camera. But yeah, if we're in a restaurant and your tickets are taking a long time, you're getting yelled at that we need the food for table 52 or whatever. Where's it at? And huh? Oh. Kayla, do you want to be introduced? Lucas is putting you on the spot.
We talked about his family. I want to see his family.
Okay, well, there's some kids. I guess we'll do a family introduction while we're getting caught up. So hopefully, if you guys are ready to put your lid on and put your chicken in the oven, go ahead and do that while we're waiting for people.
Real quick, while she's doing that, when do we add the parsley again?
After you put your chicken and bacon in. So you're going to put your liquids in, so your chicken stock, your brandy, your wine, and you're going to kind of cook that down a little bit. Then we're going to put it in your chicken, the bacon, and the parsley.
And then Connor says, Millie and Winnie are helping too. And then Ashley said, and peel thyme leaves or just braise with whole sprigs?
Just throw the whole sprig in there.
Alright, you guys will see that.
Okay, so here's child number, technically I guess number 2. This is Lydia. Do you want to say hi? Hi. Okay, so that's Lydia. Here, come here. Do I have to pick him up? Okay, there's Thaddeus. He's the young chef. He made dinner for us the other night. Do you have any tips or tricks that you need to tell people about cooking?
No.
None?
Yeah.
Make it taste good?
No.
Season your food? Okay, all right. He's out of here. Lydia's a good helper. What's your favorite food? Do you want to tell anybody? Cinnamon rolls?
Lydia,
So-
Papa Adam and Grandma Leslie say hi. They're watching you.
Oh yeah. Do you want to say hi, Papa Adam?
Hi, Pop. Adam.
Okay. Do you want to go back to your movie? You want to stay here? Okay. So I guess I got a new partner while we're waiting for everybody. Are you guys getting caught up? It's no rush if you're not.
Yep, that was the last one.
So nothing? Do you want to go play? You just want to be on camera? You see Brittany? There's people watching you. Do you have anything to tell anybody while we're waiting?
I would like to dance.
You like to dance. So Lydia likes to dance. She's a good dancer. She's a good kitchen helper. Every morning she wakes up and lets me know that she's hungry. And she goes through and decides what she wants, if it's a banana or an orange or cereal or yogurt. What are you going to ask for tomorrow?
I open the fridge and see the yogurt, and then I say, Dada, there's no yogurt.
Yeah, if there's, she opens the fridge, and if there's no yogurt, I get in trouble. Is that okay? Okay. Do you want to?
Classifies as a bunch of parsley.
Oh, like I guess I do. Just put like half of your, that one, put half of the, like the whole thing in there. The bunch that it came in at the store. You know how it's tied together. Just put half of that in, and then the other half we're gonna chop up, and we're gonna throw it into our polenta. Okay, you all done? Yeah. How about you go play over here? So if you guys are putting your,
Where?
oh, I don't know, go back to your room. Go back to your movie.
Y'all work the cameras?
Lydia, you want to help me do this? You want to help?
Okay, so yeah, again, if you guys are caught up, if you just want to let everybody know in the comments, I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on here. So just put your lid on, and then we're going to throw it in the oven. And then, so our next step that we're going to be shooting over to is our polenta. And again, if you're not all the way caught up, this part is super, super easy. We're just pouring all the cream and chicken stock into our saucepan, and we're just going to bring it to like a high simmer. Mic thing, and I think oh, it's still here. Okay. You got it? Okay, so hopefully we're all getting caught up here. Is anybody's chicken in the oven?
Ashley says caught up, and then Julie said, what if your oven is out of commission at the moment? Can you leave it on the stovetop?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Just turn it to like a medium low, and put your lid on and just kind of let it cook that way. It'll come out the same. It might take a little bit longer, so make sure you take the temperature. So at like 7:30, go ahead and poke that bad boy. Okay, so everybody else.
Annika says caught up, and Terry says in the oven.
Oh,
So
nice.
it looks like everyone's catching up.
Cool. So again, use this time to kind of clean up your workstation. If you know you got stuff everywhere, make the best of everything. Just kind of throw your stuff into the dishwasher. This is a good time to do it. Then you don't have as much to do after you get to eat. And then we'll have some chopped parsley and your Romano or your Parmesan that we're going to put into our polenta, or your grits, whatever you got is fine. And we'll kind of go from there. I'm trying to, there's no, you guys are just kind of cooking away. So again, I got my cream and chicken stock on on a medium-low setting. If you want to, you can use only water or only chicken stock or only cream. Be careful if you're going to be putting milk in there, though. You don't want to scald the milk. That'll ruin your dish. And then with the polenta, there's lots of things you can do to it. You can put cheese in it. You can put garlic in it if you wanted to, or onions or anything. So we're just going to put the cheese and some herbs today. And then we'll finish it off with some butter. Salt and pepper. I will say that grits usually, or polenta, usually take a little bit more salt than you're used to putting in things. But definitely taste it before you keep going. And then you'll also be able to tell if your polenta is fully cooked or not. Anything?
Ashley said, how about my dishwasher?
Dishwasher. You need a dishwasher right now. And now's also a good time to refill your cup if you got some time.
How long's it gotta be in the oven?
What?
How long's it gotta be in the oven?
We're gonna shoot for like 20 minutes. If you're at 400, 20 to 25 minutes, we'll check it and see where we're at. Mine cooked a little bit longer than most of your guys'. It's cooked on the stove, so mine might be done a little bit quicker than yours.
Someone wants to know, do you chop the stems of the parsley?
If we were don't chop all the way down, so you have like where the leaves are, and then there's that big huge batch of stems. Don't put that in there, but you can chop the rest past that. If you're like in a really fancy French restaurant, you would have to pick each leaf off of the stem and chop it in a pile, and that takes forever to do. The stems can sometimes be bitter, but it's not like anything like detrimental. So I didn't peel mine. I just kind of rough chopped up. I'll show you in this camera over here. Right here. Can you see it now? Maybe. Oh, down here. Gotcha. So yeah, I just kind of rough chopped it. I'm going to throw, probably half of it in here once I get the polenta added. And then the rest we're going to use to garnish our dish to make it look nice. We'll go over plating when we're all finished up. Cool. Okay, so if you can see, my cream is at like a little boil with the chicken stock. Again, if you're not at this point, it's fine, but I'm just going to add in the polenta. And then we're going to whisk it in. And then we're going to bring this up to almost a simmer again. And then we're going to turn the temp down a little lower because this can kind of start popping, and it can pop on you, and it really sucks to get a burn that way. I started a restaurant week off like that one year, and that was not very fun to have a huge blister during the busiest week of the year. So I'm just going to kind of keep stirring it for a little bit while it cooks down. And then, so what's going to happen is this polenta has to absorb all of this liquid. So it looks like we have way too much liquid in here. But it's going to mostly all be absorbed. And so I know people like to have like a creamier polenta. So for creamy polenta, your ratio is always going to be 1 part polenta, 4 parts liquid. So that's for creamy. And like if you're the type of person who likes a grit cake or something like that, the ratio is 3 to 1. So 3 parts liquid, 1 part polenta.
So somebody wants to know, is there anything special we need to do if we bought the tube polenta?
Just double check the package, but I'm pretty sure that you can just kind of throw it into your pan, and then you probably have to add a little bit of water or cream or whatever kind of liquid you have. So yeah, water, cream, or chicken stock, and then that's going to help kind of reconstitute it. You might need a heavier duty utensil, like a spoon or a wooden spoon or something, just kind of smash it down, but that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so we're just going to let this simmer. You can kind of see if you're able to look, the polenta kind of bubbles like this, and that's when it will start to pop and burn you. So you can either stir it constantly, or you can just turn it a little lower. Or you could even put like a lid on it or anything like that. And you guys doing all right out there? Is everyone's chicken in the oven? Maybe. Hopefully. Dang, guys. I'm just kidding. So we're gonna we're gonna put our salt in here. Gonna mix it up. And we're also going to put some pepper in here in a moment. Okay. All right.
At least one person's chicken is in the oven.
Okay, just one. Good job.
Yeah, one was.
Good job, Granddad.
It's either Annika?
Annika. Trying to remember your Instagram handle because it explains it in your Instagram name. So yeah, back to Annika and Julie. I sat down with them last week, 2 weeks ago, and I shot a little podcast with them. So they have a podcast called Explain Yourself. It's super cool, very interesting. It's people kind of explain kind of what they wanted to be when they were younger, and then it goes into what they're doing now and their whole life story. So it's really interesting. I met her, actually I did a dinner for her at her house, Annika. It was like a surprise party for her pretty much. And she was like one of my first dinners that I did, so it was still like, I was still figuring everything out, and they were just kind of like, what's going on here? So that was super cool. So yeah, check it out, Explain Yourself podcast. Spotify, other podcast outlets. I don't know what the other ones are.
She said it's like Monica without the M.
Oh, Monica without the M.
Monica
See,
without the M.
I can't remember it all the way. Shout out. Cool. So back to the polenta. I'm going to throw some pepper in there. Just mix it up. And then we're also going to throw in some cheese here in a moment. I'm just going to wait for the the polenta to cook down a little bit longer. You want to make sure your polenta is fully cooked, because if not, it's really gritty, and it's just not done all the way. It's kind of like if you undercook your pasta, and it has that kind of bite to it. So take your time. If you see you need to add a little bit more liquid to it, again, that's fine. Just pour some in. It'll just be a little creamier, and that's fine. Anybody else? Questions?
The cooking dinner that you guys did was the best time.
Oh, it was fun.
She liked it.
So you can, when you make polenta, you can throw in any kind of cheese you want to. I also like to do like white cheddar, and that's kind of, it's not as sharp as this Romano cheese. This cheese kind of has a bite to it because it's aged a little longer. But we're at the point now where we're going to add it. So over here, you can see, again, the polenta started to bubble up again. So we'll add in our polenta, or not our polenta, our cheese. And then at the very, very end is when we will add in our parsley. It's kind of just to give it some color, so it's just not like this yellow blob on your plate. And it adds a little bit of flavor, but if we cook it too long, it'll kind of lose its brightness. It'll just get darker. Lucas is over here behind the camera crying because he's really hungry. I didn't make him any snacks. Sorry. All right, so our chicken at this point probably has about 10 more minutes to go. I know everybody's at a different place in their cooking. Most people, you should have your chicken in the oven by now, I would assume. And if you don't, again, it's fine. You're just a little behind with, just when we're going to be plating up and everything. But we'll wait for you in get it all squared away. Does anybody have any questions out there? Any comments? You guys busy doing dishes?
So I want to know, what is this new thing that you're doing? Like, what do you offer? Like, give me the commercial. What are you
Cool.
doing?
So the commercial. I don't have a good commercial. But, so kind of what the plan, the plan from this is going to be is, this is kind of like a test run to see how going live would work. You know, if it's like a fun thing, if people liked it, if I'm doing a good job. And then from there, you know, we're looking to do more classes. In the future, the classes are going to come with a fee. So I'm thinking about doing one for Valentine's Day, and I'm still kind of working out if we're going to do 2 courses or 3 courses, exactly what we're going to do. That one would be on Zoom, so we'll all be able to talk to each other, and it's more, I guess, more intimate that way. So that's coming up. If you guys would be or if any of you would be interested in that, just put a thumbs up in the comments, and if not, put a thumbs down. Yeah, subscribe. I guess you guys are all subscribed to me at this point. So in the future, that's kind of next thing. When I don't have dinners going on, doing the classes is pretty fun. Doing dinners, they are like the real kind of the fun thing to do. I get to go to somebody's house and cook a whole meal in their home and just kind of hang out with everybody. And then I do all the dishes, all the cleaning, all the grocery shopping. So it's really low maintenance for, the client or the customer. And they're just a lot of fun to hang out with people and hear their stories. And, for different, whatever reason, the party is, I went to one, the guest, or not the guest, the client was supposed to get married that day, and, and COVID kind of canceled that, and so they got me instead of a nice wedding night, and that was fun. I've done birthday parties. I've done I got like another kind of surprise party coming up, so they're just a lot of fun.
All right, so we got a couple questions and comments on here. So
All right.
The first one is, if I can't find polenta, what else can I use? Would be a good substitute.
So you could do like quick grits. Those are easy to find. If you had any, might be a little late now to do any kind of potato, but a potato would be really good. Mashed potatoes, roasted potatoes. Maybe you guys heard of that. Kids are going crazy. If you wanted to, you could put it with rice. It wouldn't be like traditional or anything, but it'd be good. It'd be kind of more like a stew. Yeah, usually polenta, you can either find it in the noodle aisle by all the Italian stuff, or in like the healthy area. It would be like by the organic flours and all that. And it's usually the Bob's Mills.
So he wants a close-up of the polenta.
Okay.
Just so you can see what it looks like currently. And then someone said we got a real beginning with Babish vibe. Love it. And then two people said 3 courses. Maybe doing more food, like a 3-course meal type thing. Is a suggestion.
Right. Cool. 3 courses is fun. Just hard to think of what dessert I want to do, because, we're looking at like a 2-hour time frame usually for these, I could push it to 3. I don't know if that's a time frame people would like. But, that's cool. 3 courses would be fun. Desserts aren't too bad to do. Maybe I could give you the recipe beforehand. So I'm going to go ahead and taste test the polenta just to kind of see if it's fully cooked. Are you zoomed in on that? If you can kind of see, you can see the yellow in here, the little chunks of corn. So I can kind of tell it's not all the way cooked. But I'm going to taste it anyways, just to kind of see where I'm at. Be careful, like if you are going to taste test this, it's super hot. And so just be careful. Don't burn yourself. Mine's close. I don't need any salt or anything. But I still have kind of that gritty little bite to it. So we'll wait. We'll try to get in a minute. Any other questions out there? Everyone's caught up? Cool. So in like 3 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and check my chicken, and I think mine's going to be done. Yours, if it's not, again, it's no big deal. We're just kind of all getting to a point to, you guys probably have like 5 to 10 minutes left on it. But I will go ahead and show you guys how to plate everything up. We'll make it look real nice, and we'll go from there.
Switch over here. I think this camera just died.
Oh, man. Cool. So in the meantime, let me get my plate. From everybody.
They're in the Skype case.
Okay, so we had a camera die, which is no biggie, right, Lucas?
What's up?
Nothing.
Is this roasting?
Huh? Okay. So my pudding is almost done. I'm going to add in a little bit more butter just because it's going to add a little more richness to it. If you don't add butter to it, it's not a big deal. I just like it. I use a lot of butter in everything. Okay, so let's get in. Did you guys think this was an easy recipe? Something you would probably make again, or what do you guys think?
I think it's easy.
Okay, Lucas thinks it's, he supports
I think
it.
it was hard, but our teacher was so good.
Oh,
It made it
man.
easy.
He even messed up, but he saved the day. Could you pass me two of those bowls right there that
What
are
do you
sitting?
need?
There's those two bowls. I didn't know your setup would be that intense. Okay, so the dog's going crazy. Are we gonna be able to put that camera over here, you think?
Yeah. I'll remove everything real quick.
Well, you don't have to yet. It doesn't have to do that. Just for when I play it up.
Are you done with that stuff?
Huh?
Are you done with that stuff?
Not yet.
Not yet. Alright, I'll wait. Once you're done with that, I'll switch it over.
Okay. So again, I will show you guys how to plate everything up. What the heck? Is it delayed?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you want to serve this dish in a bowl, if you have one, like a, not like a cereal bowl, but like a more of a shallow bowl. If just because it's kind of like loose and gravy in the polenta, it's not like a set thing, so it'll just look nicer. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and check my chicken, and then we'll see where it's at. And that'll kind of give me a judgment on where you guys are at.
Messing up the shot, sorry.
Oh man, tell me when it's on and I'll do the great reveal.
Came over. Alright, second. Alright, go for it.
Okay. Okay, I guess we gotta go this way. You ready? Boom. It might be done. Let's see. So again, we're looking to get these cooked to 170. Mine is at 170. So when you temp it, temp all of them though, just to be sure. You know, some of them might, if it was a bigger chicken leg, it might cook a little faster if it's, or it might cook slower if it's bigger, faster if it's smaller. And when you stab in there, just stab real close to the bone to just tell where you're at. Cool, so mine's fully done. Again, if you guys aren't done, that's okay. Your chicken will be close though. So I'll just put a lid back on it and wait for everyone to get caught up. And I'll switch sides here to show you the polenta, kind of where I'm at with that. So you can see it's holding its body, you know, but it's not super thick. It's a little looser than mashed potatoes. Is usually the consistency I like to go for. If I was trying to be like super fancy and, you know, have it hold its shape a little more, I would use 3 parts liquid instead of the 4 like we did in this recipe. So we'll do one more taste test for it. And then if we find out that it's done, we'll pour in the parsley. Okay, I'm going to go a little longer. Lydia's in the background being silly. Do you guys have any other things you want to know about cooking related? Do's, don'ts? Any need for a funny story? I could think of one for you.
Lydia, do you have a question for your dad?
No, Lydia's got nothing. Okay, so we're just going to keep stirring this up a little longer. Okay, so.
That was when dinner.
What was that, Lydia?
Lydia's hungry. She already ate dinner though. What? Okay, Lydia's hungry, she says. She probably is. She's like an eating machine. So again, we're going to add a little bit of the parsley in there, maybe the equivalent of like 1/8 of a cup, you know? Just kind of eyeball it, whatever you want to throw in there.
Are cilantro and parsley substitutable, somebody said.
No. Don't do that. Cilantro in this would just, it wouldn't be very good. It's got like a more like fresh, brighter flavor, and then parsley, I would say, is like more earthy and kind of grassy flavored. So there would not be exchangeable. Exchangeable, is that a word?
They use substitutable.
Substitutable. Yeah, it's not substitutable. Don't do it. You would be better off with no greenery in there than to put the greenery in. Did you guys want to go ahead and check some of your temperatures on your chickens? I think somebody's is probably done. Now the dog's going crazy. Anybody have any other questions out there? Nada. You guys are quiet. I guess I'm quiet too.
Yeah, I got a question. When's dinner ready? I'm hungry.
Yeah, Lucas is getting hungry. So Lucas is waiting on you guys. He's rushing you. Lucas is like the angry server right now, screaming where's the food at when it's really busy. We don't like that. So you can just you can tell him to shut up. He's got to wait. It's done when it's done.
Terry's chicken is done.
Okay, cool.
They
So
said they were on track too, it looks like.
awesome. So just kind of let it. You can let it rest in the sauce for a minute if you want to see how it's all plated up. If you're super impatient, you can just dig in. It's fully ready to go. Just kind of spoon your sauce all over and get to eating. But yeah, again, we're just kind of going to wait for everybody, get a little bit caught up, and then here in a minute, I will get the camera transferred over here, and we will plate up.
Ashley's is at 150, so she's getting close. And Connor says, let's do a baller steak next.
Oh, okay. Steaks are fun. They, unless you have a good hood though, pull off your smoke detector because you want to get a nice sear on that thing when you start off cooking it. And if not, you'll get a lot of smoke because you do need your pan to be hot just to get that nice reaction.
You want me to move this over?
Sure.
Or are you done on the stove?
Yeah, I'm
top
done.
and
I'm
go over?
done.
Cool.
Okay, so Lucas is gonna set up
Position.
the plating camera. You're hungry?
Sorry, I unleashed a monster.
You probably did.
You already ate. They're all in that Sky Pan cake.
Okay. You're what? Nice, Lucas. You really started something. So now Lydia's yelling, "I'm hungry, when's dinner done?" We can thank Lucas for that. She already ate. I'm not starving my children, don't worry.
So that's the one, the main camera
Okay.
one, just so you know.
This is the main. Cool. I will move this out of the way. Okay, so some of you guys are ready. If you guys want, I can go ahead and plate mine up now so you can kind of see what you're going to be doing before you do it. And then I can answer any questions you guys have about everything. I'm just finishing up my polenta. Again, taste your polenta. Double check it that it's fully cooked before you plate up. Because, I mean, it just kind of sucks to work so hard on a dish and then you find out your polenta's not all the way done.
Sorry, Trevor went off book and
Oh, no.
moved on me while we were doing something.
Oh, they were just staring at a wall?
Yeah, they're staring at my hip.
What camera am I on there now?
What are you doing?
I don't know.
You're on that one.
Okay. Kayla, are there any questions, comments, concerns?
Your film crew needed an appetizer.
I know. I thought about doing that, but, you know.
Did you already see Ashley's duck breast recipe next question?
Ooh, duck would be good.
And then Annika, right?
Mm-hmm.
Annika's almost done.
Cool.
Are you done over here on the stovetop?
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah, duck would be fun. But like a good duck breast, like you got to eat that thing medium rare because it's dark meat. So you don't have to cook it all the way to 145 degrees. You can eat it. You can treat it like a steak. And I might weird you out a little bit, but I promise you won't get sick. It's super good. Oh, here, I got an idea. I'll answer the questions myself.
There you go.
I lost my commentary crew. Oh man, this is
Because they didn't feed us.
this is weird to watch myself on the screen, and it's delayed. How long's the delay on this?
Like 2-3 seconds.
What the heck? Okay, I can't watch that. I'm gonna get too distracted. It's like the screen's delayed, and so like it's like what the heck? It's like another.
Appetizers. So you should have fed us.
It's like another reality, I guess. Inception. Cool. Okay, well then I guess we'll go ahead and turn the volume off. What's the heck? You're weirding me out, bro. Let's go ahead and plate this up. I lost my serving spoon. Cool. Okay. So we're shooting. Are you looking at the plate?
Yep.
So this one, right? Cool. All right. So what we're going to do is you're going to get, I don't know, about like half of a cup of your polenta into a spoon. We're going to put it right into the middle of the plate. We're going to add a little more. And we'll clean that little spill up in a second. I'm feeding 4 people, so I'm going to plate all up at the same time. All right. Cool. So we got our polenta down. Next, we're going to grab our. That was hot, dummy. We're going to grab our coq au vin from the stove. And we're going to use some tweezers, or not tweezers, tongs. If you're really fancy in a fancy restaurant, you use tweezers. Like, if, I don't know, I guess it's just a cool thing to do. They're not really totally necessary. But grab your tongs. We're going to pull the chicken out one piece at a time and just kind of shake it off a little bit so that the sauce doesn't just splatter all over your plate. Then we're going to lay it nicely in the middle of your plate, or a little off center, as I did. And then we are going to spoon the vegetables that are in here. So our onions, our carrots, and our mushrooms. Did I say mushrooms twice? Onions, carrots, mushrooms. We'll go just to the other side a little bit in a little pile. And I like to try to get more of the vegetables and less of the sauce at first, because the vegetables are the best part, in my opinion. The sauce is really good, but you got to have some more stuff in there. And then we'll put a little bit more sauce on top of the chicken. And then lastly, you're going to hit it with the camera die.
Nope, I just want to reframe it because you moved the...
Oh, sorry. And you're going to hit it with some of the bacon. Then the parsley. Then you feed your very angry, hangry cameraman. So that's the first one. Let's put up another one. You back in? Can you see it?
Yep, push it a little farther in.
Which way?
Like, go away from you.
Okay, here?
Push straight forward, right there.
Okay. So we'll do another one. Again, we'll shake off our chicken. Put it kind of square in the middle a little bit. We'll get our vegetables spooned up. So you will have some extra sauce here, and that's fine, because you're going to have leftovers with this other leg. Take that out. If you're fancy, you got to wipe it down a little bit. If you're really impressing somebody with a plated meal, don't give it to them dirty. Again, then we're going to hit it with some more bacon and some more parsley. And then that is how to make the coq au vin. So we are all finished up on the eating part. Here you guys go, the hungry camera crew. Are you guys, your chicken, everybody's chicken, or I guess not everybody, most people's chicken should be done at this point. Any comments, questions out there? Maybe everyone's plating up. I don't know what you're doing. So I'm just going to plate up these last two. It is late. And I didn't eat a snack before either, so I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty hungry. So the flavor of this, obviously, there's going to be a wine flavor to it since we cooked it in wine. But we're also going to get some nice earthiness from the vegetables we cooked, and then the chicken stock kind of helps balance it out. But it is a very rich, savory meal. I think my favorite part of the whole thing is the onions. The little pearl onions are super good. And again, if I know I typed it on the recipe, but if you can't find pearl onions anywhere, you can just use a white onion or a yellow onion. It doesn't change up the recipe too much or the flavors.
Anna's plating hers up right now, so it looks like they're on track.
Cool. Also, the bacon's really good. That might be my favorite part. But we eat a lot of bacon around here, so it's not like a special thing to eat bacon. I remember as a kid, like if you got bacon, is like always a big deal. But I don't know. Working in the kitchen, like there's just bacon everywhere, always. So bacon kind of lost its appeal when you eat 5 pieces a day for 10 years.
So why'd you pick this dish, Trevor? Like for your first stream, why was this the one that you went with?
Because it was a nice fancy dish that I feel like everybody would want to know how to make. Like if you went somewhere and you heard they were making coq au vin, you're like, damn, that's fancy. And and it's really good. It's not a hard dish, and I feel like the process of braising can be applied to other things. So again, if you could substitute like a short rib with this, and it would be really good. Or you could do, if you didn't put in the chicken stock, you could do the wine and the tomatoes, and then it's more like of an Italian dish. So they braise a lot of their stuff in like a tomato sauce, and then it's kind of like pot roast, where you can sear it and just slowly braise it. So it's a good technique that everybody should know, and you can speed up the process to where it could be an easy family meal. This would be something we would serve like on a regular basis here at our house, just searing a chicken and throwing it in the oven. So if you can do it once, you can do it twice, and you'll be a little bit faster and it'll taste better.
Ted Bolerjack said that it paired nicely with the Bordeaux.
Ooh,
If that's how you say that.
you're right.
And David Stevens said, looks awesome, great job, could smell it the whole way.
Dang. See, if you're a chef, you got that strong of a nose. I hear you, Chef Dave. So Chef Dave, who's I guess watching, he was my chef in culinary school, so I owe a lot to him. So I just want to say thanks to you, Chef Dave. I'll get back to you on your fantasy stuff soon. But yeah, I owe a lot to that guy for helping me out for the past few years. Anybody else? Everybody else cooking, plating up?
Julie said that it is so good.
So good. Cool. We got one.
So it looks like
People are eating. People are plating up. At this point, we're finished up with the actual cooking of everything. You guys can stick around in the comments. If you have any questions, I know it was an hour and 45 minutes to make the dish. That's pretty good time. If you started a little earlier, like 5:30, it's a good, easy, simple thing to just kind of throw all in a pot, throw in the oven, and eat for dinner. So if you guys, want to stick around and ask some questions, feel free. If not, you guys are free. Class is dismissed. But I'll be hanging out for a while, answering questions. I might eat a little bit on camera.
So Julie's asking, what's one cooking show you won't watch?
Bobby Flay. I don't like that dude. I honestly don't watch many cooking shows. I don't watch that much TV. I guess I'm weird. But I like watching Gordon Ramsay shows. It just brings back the rage of working in the kitchen. A nice rage, I should say. I'm not a mean, evil guy. The dog's freaking out. That's a good one. Chef's Table on Netflix is very good. It's more of like the fine dining side of like real restaurants and highly ranked restaurants in the world. So those ones are my favorite. But yeah, I don't mess with that guy Bobby Flay.
Connor Williams is plating up.
Good job, Connor. What?
He wants some food.
Dude, you already ate. Does he have water?
Well, if you're done, I'm gonna try it.
Okay, Lucas is gonna eat it.
I'm not gonna eat it on camera, but I will definitely eat
So my dog has recently figured out how to ask for food and water. So that's pretty cool.
it. Thank you, Chef Bolerjack.
Chef Beezy. Here, you need a knife, dog.
Need a knife? It's so tender, you don't need this. What should I have first? Should I go for the meat or should I go for the veggies and other stuff?
It's all you, dude. Eat the chicken.
I go with it's called planta.
Yeah. Oh, the polenta's good too. Yeah, the polenta's like my favorite. It's always cool working in the hotels. We cook polenta all the time, and I miss eating it. It's just really good.
Annika and Tim approve.
Cool.
Ashley is sitting down to eat, and Terry says yummy, yummy.
Yummy, yummy.
Mm-hmm. Planta's good. It's real good. I don't know what planta is, so I didn't know what to
Oh yeah,
expect.
polenta. I guess I could explain it if anybody else is still on here. Polenta is just like ground up corn. It's similar to cornmeal. I believe it still has the germ on it, I think. Now I don't remember exactly. But yeah, it's similar to grits.
Some random fan named Kayla Bolerjack wants to know why you don't like Bobby Flay.
You know, you can ask her because, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, Kayla had a subscription to the Food Network magazine, and she said Bobby Flay was cute, so I got a beef with him. You know, screw you, Bobby Flay. If you're watching, I'll beat you on your TV show.
Mr. Stu, go girl. It's really good, dude.
Okay, so Lucas approves, and Lucas is a picky baby.
I am.
Brittany, there's food for you.
Oh, I will be eating. I'm still got to finish comments.
Okay.
Adam McDonald said, "Great job, Trevor. Let's cook some salmon. You
Okay.
made your mama proud."
I made my mom proud. Got you, Mama. Thank you. Bring me into the world. I'm here.
And Adam said, Adam is not the one commenting.
Okay.
So.
So my mom's doing double duty on the comments.
Thanks, Mama B.
Cool. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, if it's good. If you would eat it again.
Ashley says, so good.
So good.
Eating too.
What other kind of stuff do you put the planta with? Because I really like that. I've never had that before.
So the polenta, I mean, you could eat it for breakfast with like an egg on it. That'd be good. Braised meats, so like braised short rib, your pot roast, that would be good. What else? I mean, you can just kind of throw some vegetables in it, like a little stew. Like you could even pour a can of soup on it, and it'd be really good. So it's just a good like serving vessel to add some flavor to all your food.
Kind of like a rice substitute.
Yeah,
Like if you try to rice or potatoes. Or
I eat a lot of rice.
I do love rice.
What else? Anybody else? Questions, comments, concerns? Do you guys like how I forgot the flour? Awkward. I was too worried. I was too excited about the fire from the brandy. So, yeah, super simple dish. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and doing the test run of the cooking class. I had fun. There's some stuff we could do to improve everything. And then just keep an eye out on my Instagram and my Facebook for updates if we're going to do a Valentine's dinner or not.
You've already got your first sign up for that. Annika is ready to sign up for the Valentine's Day class.
Cool.
So there's one person already, and then you got a 5-star from Granddad, Grandma, and Aunt Julia.
Oh, Aunt Julia's over there too. Shout out to her because I am using the all-clad pan she gave me to make this dish. So without you, I wouldn't be making this.
David said, thanks for the video. Can't wait for the next. Very professional. Great job. And then Ashley said they had a rather large brandy fire.
Proud of you.
Is that kind of like a rite of passage? Like you gotta get the big fire to be a real chef?
I had my friend caught his hair on fire one time, so that was pretty funny. So Josiah, if you ever watch this, he was cooking over the pan. Then all of a sudden I was like, dude, what happened to your head? And his whole hair was just like singed up. So.
And I think that we should make a toast to Caleb Bolerjack, who kept the kids quiet and out of the way the whole time.
Yeah.
And she's commenting. She just said, great job, Trevor, with the cute kissy face emoji.
Oh, wow.
And Terry is currently drinking the rest of the brandy now.
And David said again, hope you ignite something for Valentine's video.
All right. Oh, that's a good idea. Thanks for the idea. I will, I'll put that into something.
What's that mean?
We'll do like not everybody has well, anybody can do the flambe thing. We'll do like bananas Foster or something. That was a good idea. Thank you, David. I needed that. Because who wouldn't like some on fire? Remember one time I had to do bananas Foster at like this big fundraiser event, like in front of 400 people. And it's just super awkward just to walk out like with a little push cart. And, you know, we cooked this bananas Foster tableside for a bunch of people. Me and Chef Tony, maybe like 6 years ago. So that was cool.
Annika said, ooh, some torch action.
People love the blowtorch. Whenever I bring it into like someone's house for like creme brulees or something, they're just like, ah, it's like the coolest thing. The primitive use of fire.
Connor says this is delicious.
All right, all right. I hope so.
Really good, man. I'm impressed.
You guys did it. So if it's good, you guys did it all. You know, you just follow the recipe again. If you see something cool you want to make and you don't like something, just screw it. Don't put that in there and just substitute it out. There's not as many rules to cooking as everybody likes to think there is. You know, just you can get weird with it. So enjoy. Thanks for coming out.
I mean, sure, call me.
Are people still in here?
You got 14 people still watching.
Dang, you guys just watching me eat.
You were about 19 when we were plating, so a couple people failed.
Dang, famous, world famous, cool. Well, I mean, again, if you guys have any last questions, type them up, and if not, we will end the class and get on with everything. So, again, thanks for coming out. I'll be here for a few more minutes, eating, watching Lucas devour his food. The picky man ate.
I picked around the mushrooms.
Anything else?
Nah, we had a bunch of people just drop off right there, so yeah, I say just wrap it up.
All right. Adios, amigos. I'm out.